You clicked this video because you want to know if AI can actually make you more productive. Here's the truth. I didn't ask for another list of prompts or 10 productivity hacks. I simply asked ChatGPT to make me productive as fast as possible. Not in 30 days, not with another complicated routine, just now. And by the end of this video, you'll see the exact system AI built for me, what worked, what didn't, and what you can copy to make your system even more efficient. By the way, I'm Evan Berger. I've spent over 1,000 hours studying how top performers use AI in systems to be the best version of themselves. Here's the problem with productivity. There's too many tools, there's too much advice, all pulling you in a different direction. One guru tells you to block every minute of your day, another says don't use a calendar at all, and productivity YouTubers are testing 50 apps a month. And honestly, it leaves you more overwhelmed than when you even started. That's the trap I find most people falling into. I was too. Between school, working full-time, building this YouTube channel, I was constantly in a phase of decision fatigue. My calendar looked like a failed game of Tetris. And everywhere online, the promise was the same. AI will save you. AI will make you more productive. AI will fix everything. I got sick of hearing it, so I decided to test it all myself. If AI can't clear the chaos, nothing's gonna be able to. So I gave ChatGPT a challenge. I said, forget theory, forget productivity hacks. I just want you to make me productive as fast as possible. Step by step, give me the exact plan. And what it gave me was surprisingly clear. But instead of spoiling the plan up front, I decided to test it first. I loaded what the AI gave me into my calendar and let it run for a week. The challenge wasn't going to be what the AI can make up on paper. It was going to be the actual application of the paper. Would it actually work in real life, or would it fall apart the second I tried to use it? So when I put the plan in motion, a few things instantly stood out to me. The first thing I noticed was how it forced me to strip away the noise. Usually my to-do list is an absolute monster. Think over 20 things a day. But ChatGPT instead told me to focus on capturing one daily highlight per day. And as simple as that sounds, it actually worked. Rather than splitting my energy across so many different activities, I walked away every day knowing I accomplished the thing that mattered the most. On Monday, my daily highlight was finishing my entire YouTube script. I got it done right after lunch, and then the rest of the productivity I completed throughout the day just felt like a bonus. That shift alone gave me more clarity and confidence than any other productivity hack I've tried throughout the last year. The second win was calendar blocking, but a little bit lighter. Normally I color code everything and plan everything. This time I didn't. Usually when you do calendar blocking, your entire day becomes a color-coded prison, and the moment anything breaks, everything collapses. ChatGPT didn't tell me to block everything. It told me to prioritize the high leverage tasks and the most important blocks of my day, then leave a lot of space around it. And honestly, that was surprisingly freeing. And the third win was the reflection loop. At the end of the day, I wasn't just collapsing onto my couch exhausted. ChatGPT told me to write down one win, one failure, and one fix for tomorrow. It's so simple, but that momentum carried me through the next day. That made each day feel like it was connected to the one before it, rather than starting from scratch every single morning. These three parts worked right away. They weren't complicated, they were actually simple, but they made my entire week feel clearer, lighter, and a lot more actionable. But let's be real. It wasn't perfect. There was actually a few very big problems that I did have to address. The first being, ChatGPT doesn't understand your energy levels. On paper, it told me to put my deep work in the evening, which if you're a night owl, that might work perfectly for you. But after 10 hours of classes, working on content, that was the last thing I wanted to do. I didn't want to dive into deep work after I was already exhausted. That entire block of deep work was immediately a disaster. I had to make some changes, which I'm going to cover later. The second problem was the advice was a bit too generic. Out of the box, AI doesn't understand you. It doesn't know your goals, it doesn't know your background, so it just gives you basic calendar advice. But the third problem was by far the biggest challenge. But before I get into that, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. ChatGPT wanted me to run like a robot, so it would constantly overschedule me. Sure, it told me to leverage big activities, but it still gave me barely any breathing room. The criteria for what was important enough to be blocked was very, very small. And the more I tried to follow the system exactly, the more it rebelled against me. One night, it scheduled me for a 2-hour deep work block starting at 8 p.m. I got everything together, I pulled out my laptop, I sat down, I stared at it for 10 minutes, and it was a total failure. I closed my laptop, I didn't get any work done. And the overscheduling problem did continue to get worse. Eventually, ChatGPT told me when I was supposed to be drinking water and eating breakfast. It lasted about 30 minutes before I deleted half of the calendar. But that's when it hit me. AI can make advice within seconds, but you still have to be the translator, the one who takes the advice and makes it human. And once I realized how to do that efficiently, I stopped fighting the system and started making it fit my life. So here's where the experiment really began. The problem with the system wasn't deal breakers, it was alerts that I had to change something. The first fix was energy mapping. Sure, ChatGPT told me to stack my work late at night, but I knew that wasn't the right fit for me, so I changed it. I used my mornings for the deep work, heavy focus activities, and I saved things like emails and other admin tasks for the evening. Suddenly, my energy was perfectly aligned with the plan ChatGPT gave me. Now everything worked with me instead of against me. The second fix was customizing the generic advice. Instead of just taking whatever output I got originally, I asked relevant follow-up questions. Things like, okay, give me an example that fit a college student's schedule, or what about for a content creator? When I forced ChatGPT to be specific to my world, the advice got 10 times more usable. You could take this even a step further by actually providing what tasks you have to get done, what world you live in. Give as much context as you can, and ChatGPT will become even more efficient. And the third fix was intentionally leaving white space. I didn't follow the exact robot schedule, and I made that clear to ChatGPT with a message. I added room to breathe, I added buffer blocks, I allowed space when things went wrong. That turned a rigid plan into something I could actually stick with. Now, after those 3 tweaks, the system stopped feeling like someone else's and really felt like it was customized to fit me. But enough of the breakdown. Let's look at the results so you know if it's worth applying to your own life. Now, after fixing those problems, the wins were obvious. I was saving 2 to 3 hours every single day. Not because AI did the work for me, but because it removed the friction of setting up. Instead of wasting my time, I was finishing the week ahead of schedule. For the first time in a long time, it felt like I was controlling my life through a calendar. I didn't waste energy deciding what was going to be important to me that day. It was already picked out for me. The one daily highlight kept me anchored. I never felt scattered because I always knew what needed to be done. The reflection loop made every day feel 10 times more valuable because it led into the next. And the calendar blocking was super efficient once I added the buffer blocks and the extra time I told you about. Overall, the problems from the AI system didn't disappear. I just made the correct adaptations, and I think you should too. Whenever the plan doesn't match your reality, don't just throw it out. Make small shifts to help it fit your world. And that's the real takeaway from this entire experiment. Sure, you can get great results using AI's productivity system, but if you become the translator who adapts it to fit your life, you're gonna see 10 times better results. The real edge comes from knowing how to transfer what the AI says into something that's way more actionable. And if you wanna see the most powerful tactic I use to keep my calendar in control, go check out my next video. Why I schedule nothing, and you should too. Click here to watch it now. I'll show you exactly how I create blank space to make every calendar, even AI ones, work even more efficiently. See you there.